Hey guys, I'm Seb. Welcome back to Superficial Charm, and I just want to start today's video by saying rest in peace to Juice WRLD, who passed away early yesterday morning. I loved his music, and I think that he was just another great person taken from us too soon. So, song of the day is definitely Roses by him and Brendan Urie. He has a lot of good songs. If you want to go back and check out his repertoire, Legends is kind of still too raw for me to listen to without tearing up. But just uh, he left a mark on the music industry undoubtedly. The way that he mashed the styles and included like emo and rock influence into his music. That's something not a lot of rappers do. And I'm not gonna make it a thing about drugs. I'm just gonna say he was gone too young, and rest in peace to him. All right, thank you. So, the other day, I was sitting down and I was thinking about all the wonderful music that has been released this year. And at first, I was thinking maybe I should make a top 10 albums list. Maybe I should make a top 10 songs list. Maybe a top 5 albums list. And I still think that I'm going to do that, but a little closer to time. However, I am in a really good mood today. I do not have work, and I am ready to record. So I'm gonna give you guys a little go-ahead spoiler of what is probably, unless MCR drop an album on like December 31st, which probably won't happen. But I think it's probably gonna be my favorite album of the year, and we have to go back, like all the way to the beginning of the year, because my favorite album this year is Peach Club by Emarosa. On February 8th, 2019, this album was officially released after 3 singles came out. And all 3 singles that dropped before this album had me absolutely in love with it. I interacted with the band somewhat on Twitter, like just a little back and forth exchanges, and I was 100% on board with the hype train behind Peach Club and the new direction that this album was taking. For those of you that don't know Emarosa, they were formerly a post-hardcore band fronted by Johnny Craig of Dance Gavin Dance and Slaves fame, but he left due to the addiction problems that he was having. It was then taken up a number of different people before finally deciding on Bradley Walden. It continued to be a post-hardcore band all the way up until this last album, Peach Club, where Emarosa have ditched the fox and have gone full just boy band disco euphoria pop. It's wonderful. It's a sound that that I didn't know I missed, and I think a lot of people don't know that they missed. The melodies and just the absolute like passion poured behind these songs and these lyrics are like unmatched. Like I am so excited to review this album in full for you today. And in any year that Dance Gavin Dance has released an album, when I'm calling this Emarosa album my favorite album of the year, you guys know that it is almost untouchable for me. So without further ado, we are gonna get into the first track. The first track off of the album is actually the first single that they ever dropped for it, titled Given Up. And right away, you are transported to just a world of neon and nightclubs and pop, and honestly, for this little pop punk band that like a few years ago you would have like just like automatically associated with post-hardcore, it is a huge departure, but a great one nonetheless. The lyricism is still on point, and although there is a slightly different formula this album of just say the chorus a lot and have a couple verses, the songs are fairly short, it works. It completely and utterly works. Given Up, the bass is so strong and prominent, and I am a sucker for some good bass in an album. They also have a few brass instruments, including what I think is a saxophone solo, right near the end of this song. And it's meaning with the lyrics, more than anything, is just about not giving up when you have been faced with issues in life, and like not giving up on someone that you're with. A very emotional message, but delivered with the cadence of just a feel-good pop song, so it doesn't really feel too heavy. It's more like a lighthearted, hey, I was thinking about giving up, but you're pretty cute. So for sure, this is one of my favorite songs off of the album, but like the whole album is one of my favorite songs off the album. Every single track on this one is an absolute banger. So we're gonna get right ahead into the next one. The next track on the album is called Don't Cry, and it just sounds like a comforting breakup song to a teenage girl. This whole album feels very teenagey, and I mean that in the best possible way. Just don't cry. It is what it sounds like. It's, you have to be in a certain mood to listen to it. You have to be very much so either sad or ready to not be sad. I don't really relate to it a lot, but I'm sure there are some people that absolutely would. It's not my favorite on the album, but it is definitely still an above average song for me. Do you guys remember everything I said about Giving Up? Apply that right now to Cautious. It is another just wonderful pop anthem that you just want to scream and dance to every single time it comes on. The little pre-chorus that says, I believe in ecstasy, but you might never love me, is for one, a really good overlooked lyric. Just super, a little bit angsty, but like really, really fun to sing along and just belt. And just like overall, this whole album, man, is just like, it can redefine what pop is and should be. I think a lot of bands that like want to change their style and go a more pop route, especially with those that have been in the post-hardcore scene, I think that like a lot of them should take after Emarosa, and like rather than focus on what's necessarily popular, just try to find like their own mold and like their own kind of style of pop and what they want to do. So I mean, yeah, Cautious, it's a great track, much like Giving Up. It was really, really good when it came out. I actually went to the website to listen to the song, as they did not put it on YouTube, and I remember driving around hearing the song for the first time, and again, just being just overtaken with joy. Get Back Up is next, and you will never guess what it's about. It is about getting back up onto your feet. Now, the titles are pretty simple. They've come a long way from Set It Off Like Napalm and Truth Hurts When You're Lying on Your Back, which are great and respectable songs in their own right. I still jam out to old Emarosa absolutely all the time. But Get Back Up is very empowering. They take a back seat with like kind of the euphoria driven pop for just like kind of a more standard pop song, just about brushing yourself off and getting back out there. And it's really nice because some people need to hear that sometimes. We are in for another driven pop song in the vein of Given Up and Cautious, because So Bad is the next track on this album, and it is wonderful. Every single thing about those two songs, every single thing that makes them great is present in this song with a twist on it, just different enough to keep you listening. I Can't Stop Missing You, So Bad, I Don't Want to Say Goodbye. I mean, the lyrics speak for themselves. No super cryptic messages in this one. It's just fun. It's just wonderful to listen to. It's heaven for your ears. You need to listen to this album. Help You Out is the next track. And it's a little bit slower than everything we've heard thus far, but also still kind of has a certain groove to it. The chorus is, I know you're really hurting a lot right now, let me help you out. It's just, you're trying to help out someone who's, going through it. And I'm glad that there's so much positivity in this album, because a lot of Emarosa's earlier stuff had to deal with, obviously, just looking out for yourself, and this is very much a giant departure from that. Help You Out, again, it's not as super in your face as the trilogy of my favorite songs from this album, but it's very much a good listen. Like, this whole album is meant to be listened to start to finish. I cannot recommend it enough, but as for Help You Out, I think you guys will really enjoy that one if you're in a certain mood. Coming in for the love song of this album, and this is another one of my favorites, but rather than upbeat euphoric pop, it is very much so a slowed down acoustic love song, which Bradley just absolutely still belts, like makes it so powerful. I've sang this song so many times, and I cannot tell you enough how great it is. It's different. It's 100% different from anything Emarosa has done before. It's also different than anything on the Peach Club album. It's just around 2 minutes of absolute chill, wonderful music. You can't get you can't get a better boy band sounding love song from someone who used to be very post-hardcore. Bradley and the entire band really show off their talent, throughout this entire album, and the versatility of Emarosa is something to be commended tenfold. It is perfect. This song, Hell of It, unlike the rest of the album, Bradley is taking some of the blame for being the bad guy and just putting someone else through some torture for the hell of it. Ooh, name drop the song there. If this is bad, it is because I just drank a triple shot espresso. Anyway, I hope my point is still coming across well. Either way, this, again, is different from anything on the album because it is not a love song, and it's not really a pop ballad. It's just more of it's hard to explain, really. It's very much still pop. It's just, like, different. That's the only way I think I could be able to describe it accurately. You just really need to listen to it. Again, there's a lot of cool imagery in this song, such as I gave you fire and you walked through it. There's metaphors throughout this album that's like the shades of old Emarosa, but they still just give it a twist and make it different. This is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. And I know that's a bold claim because it's not from Panic at the Disco and it's not from Dance Gavin Dance, but just from start to finish, it's just an amazing listen. So we have a couple more tracks to get through, and then I urge you, please, 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 to check out this album because Emarosa have worked so hard on it, and they 100% deserve it. Okay, up next is Comfortable, and this is the only song from the album that I'm gonna have to discount a little bit because if you've heard Kiss by a Rose from Seal, you've heard this song essentially. It's about infidelity, and it sounds exactly like the song from Seal, like exactly. It's good. Don't get me wrong. Like it's cool, but it essentially just could have been a cover of it. Again, it's fun to listen to, and I guess it's a nice little nod because they're turning to pop, but overall, this one, it probably could have gone without being in the album. Still, it's a good listen. I wouldn't skip it if it came on. On to another song that I listen to almost every week, and it's called I Want to Die With You. And it's even spelled with abbreviations like a little teenage girl. But it's a great song. It's cool if you're thinking about your significant other while it's on. It's just like, it's a pop love song. Who doesn't like a good pop love song? It's fun to listen to. Give it a shout. And ending with the perfect song to completely encapsulate Peach Club, we have Wait, Stay, again the album ender. And it is slower, which is refreshing after kind of all of the fast-paced, upbeat stuff that we have encountered so far. And there's some confliction in the lyrics. It's when you really want to stay, but you know it's not right for you. The key lyric from this song is I'm Not a Saint, which it's really, really powerful. I know it doesn't seem like it, but in the context of the song, you guys kind of get the general meaning. It's actually super powerful. I think overall, I would give this album a solid, like, 9 out of 10. That's how in love I am with it. I think it is my favorite Emarosa album, which is crazy. I never thought that I would say this, and I'm going to get attacked by a bunch of old Emarosa fans. But it's so refreshing just to see a band who got bored of what they were doing and then completely take this new direction by the horns and just do whatever they wanted to do. I think that's super admirable. And if I were a musician, I try to work GarageBand and I couldn't, and I don't have anybody to make beats for me anymore. So we'll see, but I'm trying, I promise. It's exactly what I would do. You gotta avoid burnout any way you can. You don't want to make, like, so many songs and then just, like, hate what you're doing. I know a few bands who have done that, and just, like, big props to Emarosa for not getting burnout and for doing whatever the hell they want to do, regardless of what anyone says. Peach Club is phenomenal. I hope they continue to do whatever they want. Don't confine yourselves to being post-hardcore. Don't confine yourselves to being pop. Just keep laying down hits, man. The whole band should be commended because this album is almost perfect. And you should definitely give it a listen. Alright, so I've been Seb. This has been my review of my personal favorite album of the year, Peach Club. I know I couldn't talk a lot about the meanings. I don't really think I can give them justice. You just have to listen to the album. Also, it's my first full-length album review in a long time, so I might be a little rusty, but I promise in the near future I'm going to be reviewing stuff, and I'm going to get better because I had to take a long break, but now I'm on break from school, and I can focus more on YouTube. So, thank you guys. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want. But for sure, if you made it this far, give Peach Club a listen. Emarosa definitely deserves it. Alright, see ya.